welcome to episode 19 of the EarthtonesGirl podcast. My name is Denise, and I'm coming to you today from my home in Yonkers, New York, where I live with my husband and our 2 children. You can find me on the interwebs as EarthtonesGirl. I am most active on Instagram. I'm also on Ravelry. The podcast has a Ravelry group, and there's lots of stuff happening there. We'll talk about that in a bit. And we also have an email address, which is earthtonesgirl@gmail.com. And the name of the Ravelry group is, after the podcast, EarthtonesGirl Podcast. Pretty simple. So welcome everyone, to returning viewers. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you're going to be spending some time with me today. And to any new viewers, a big, huge, warm welcome. I hope that you enjoy this podcast, and if you do, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, just let me know what you're thinking, feeling, what's going on. So, let's talk about the big elephant in the room for a second before we say another word. It's been 2 weeks since my last podcast. I'm back. It is almost the end of summer. I feel that wonderful routine coming back. I promised an episode before the CALs started. If you've been watching for a little while, I will be hosting 2 CALs this fall, and I'll be talking about those in a little bit. But I did promise another episode before the CALs kicked off, and here it is. I am very, very committed to being on the channel more often, so I'm really, really excited to be here today. And yeah, so let's get started, everybody. You know what? I just realized I don't have my clicker with me that Simon told me I need. So I think I'm actually going to pause and go get it. And to all of you, before I even pause this, to all of you that left comments about my last episode, thank you so very much. I take no credit at all. It was all my friend Simon's help that did that, and I showed him a lot of the comments and messages, so he was very, very excited. This is a big thing for him. So thank you to everybody that left comments, and yes, socks for Simon, absolutely. Although he spends most of the year, he was just here on vacation this summer, but he spends most of the year with his family in Amman, Jordan, which is where they are from. And well, anyway, so they live here, they live there, they split their time. So yeah, so I don't know that wool socks will really go over well right now. That might be a little bit chilly for him, but we'll see. So anyway, I'm gonna go grab my clicker. I've got my notes, and I think I'm actually gonna go get a bottle of water because it's really, really warm, and then we're going to jump in. I'll be right back. I have my clicker in hand. I am all ready. I'm quite fascinated by this little tool. Anything technology completely fascinates me, so I'm actually really psyched to be using this. So okay, let's get started, you guys. The purpose of this episode is twofold. I really wanted to sort of say goodbye to summer, welcome September, and talk about the CALs. I have to say, my family and I have had a really amazing summer. I didn't get very many episodes posted, but the ones we did post, there was lots of footage of us, not lots, but there was footage of us on the beach and doing different things together, and that was really great. I'm going to, I always do my little montage in the beginning, so you would have seen what we've been up to since the last episode, and it's been really great. I feel like there's been such a connection between me and the kids, between my husband and the kids, because I don't work. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and he works. My husband works 2, sometimes even 3 jobs, and they're very busy jobs. He is a fireman, he's a captain on the fire department, and he is very, very busy with a lot of his life, and that leaves the kids and I to spend a lot of time together, and it's great, and I absolutely love it. But I feel like I'm sorry, I hope you can't, my son, everybody's home. It's Sunday morning. Happy Sunday. So you'll hear my family kind of knocking around in the background, so I apologize if that's a little too noisy. But I have been recording on Sunday mornings, and that seems to be really working well. So I record on Sunday and then edit in the afternoon, and then hopefully get the episode up by Monday, Tuesday, the latest. So anyway, so because of my husband's schedule and everything, the kids and I are sort of on our own a lot, but we've had a lot of time with him this summer, and it's been amazing for our family, for him and I, for lots of things. And I touched on this a couple of episodes ago, so it's been a really, really good summer. I think the kids are getting a little restless now. I think they're looking forward to going back to school, even though they don't even know it yet. I think they are very much looking forward to that. So yeah, it's going to be a return to routine for us. I know that I work a lot better during, or not during, but with a routine. I work a lot better. This is the time we get up in the morning, this is the time we get to school, I've got X amount of time, downtime to run errands, pick the kids up. I like that, and I know a lot of people don't, and I can understand why, but it really does work for me. It centers me, it calms me. So I'm looking forward to that, and just to see where the new school year takes the kids. I'm really excited about that too. My daughter is going to be entering 4th grade. CJ is going to be in pre-K 4 or pre-K. I don't, depending on where you are in the world, it's called different things. And I'm excited to watch them grow over the next school year. I think that's going to be really amazing. And it's funny, my girlfriend, my best friend, May, is just sent her oldest off to his first job and first apartment in Chicago, and her daughter, they just drove her to college yesterday and helped her set up and kissed her goodbye, and they drove home to their empty nest. And May and I are only about a year apart age-wise, but it's so amazing where we are in our lives. But it really blows me away sometimes and makes me very reflective. And there's times where I envy her, I don't want to say freedom, because that's not it. I think once you have children, I don't think you're ever truly free. Once you have children, they're always on your mind. But just her time, the time that she now has available to her, all of the options and I don't know, options that she has ahead of her, and I'm really excited for her. But then I have just as many options and just as much time in a different way. We're just using our time differently, and I don't know, I've just been thinking about that a lot the last couple of days, and it's coming out of my mouth here, so sorry to be rambling. But just glancing at my notes, yes, this is, oh, here comes my son. Both of them, here they come. Come say hi.
Hi, my adoring fans. Hi, my adoring fish.
Okay. You know, I'm not even going to edit that out. Close the door, guys, for me.
Sorry, Mommy.
It's okay. Thank you. I was going to edit that out, but they're my babes, and I think they're really funny. I really think they're funny, so I hope you don't mind that little intrusion for a second. But yeah, that type of sort of frantic energy is what needs to be tamped down now. So yeah, that is where we are. We're saying goodbye to summer. Technically, for me, summer ends on September 1st, so I am very much looking forward to that. I had notes and I had what I was going to say here in a different sequence, but I'm just going to keep talking for a second. This September is really big for me because it marks 1 year since I've been since I've been out there, as I want to say, since I've been vlogging and podcasting. It all started September 1st last year. I woke up that morning and I said, okay, this is it. This is it. I'm doing it right now. And I did, and it was scary in a lot of ways, and I'm glad I started the way I did. I started with a vlog each day on Instagram, and that worked really well. I got used to iMovie, I got used to a lot of things. It was little bits at a time. It eased me in, which was really great. So we're coming up on the 1st anniversary of that, and I am hoping to vlog every day in the month of September. It's also my birthday month. There's just a lot going on in September, and I'm really excited about it. The other purpose of this podcast is to talk about my two CALs that are going to be starting September 1st. September is such a huge month for me of change and transition. It always has been, and I love it. It's school supplies, the smell of fresh crayons. Who doesn't love that smell? Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a very fun month, kickoff to the fall. I think the next 4 months are going to be busy and crazy and fun and wonderful, and I am very, very excited about it. So yeah, let's pause, and we're going to talk about some knitting and then CALs, and then we're going to wrap up. I'm hoping this episode is not too terribly long today. I'm actually meeting a friend in the city this afternoon. It's Sunday, not morning, it's Sunday right now at about 1 o'clock, so I am meeting her at 3 down in the city, right near the Metropolitan Museum of Art, so I'm hoping to have some footage of that in here later, and I'm so excited. Her name is Sarah Pope. She is Whistling Girl Knits on Instagram. I'm not sure what her Ravelry name is. She used to be Blue Garter, and I'll talk about her a little bit more later. That used to be her name, handle, whatever you want to call it, her AKA. And she's amazing. She's an amazing knitter, amazing designer. We met at knitting camp, oh my gosh, more than 10 years ago, and we've had this amazing friendship that has grown very slowly and very sweetly over the years, and I'm really excited. Aside from the initial meeting at camp, I've only met with her once in person. Today will be the second time that we see each other face to face, and I'm so happy about it. It doesn't feel like, ooh, a little stressed, a little tension. I just feel like we're going to jump right back in. So I am psyched to share that with you later. And yes, in the meantime, I have 2 FOs for you today, and I think it's time to talk knitting. So I'm going to go grab those, and I will be right back. So I'm going to talk about the themes of the CALs, which tie into my FOs right now, so I think it's all going to work. It's funny, I write down notes for myself, almost like a little script, that I keep in this little moleskin notebook here, and I write everything down. It's all right here, and then I just loosely follow it. It just kind of keeps me on track, in case anybody was ever wondering what notes I'm referring to. But yes, my first FO is, I finally finished them. One of the best parts of the summer for me, sorry, I'm all over the place as usual. One of the best parts of the summer for me was going to the beach with with my family and just sitting and knitting. Just being still on the beach, relaxing, under my little umbrella, while the kids and hubby played, and just knitting. I can't even begin to tell you how peaceful, well yes, any of you that have done that, Paige, the framer, I know that is what you do all summer, as well as run your shop. You understand how peaceful that is, and between the rhythm of the stitches and the knitting in my hands, the rhythm of the waves, the breeze, the sound of the waves, and many times too I was listening to an audiobook. I actually went through 2 books, actually 3 books this summer, but the 2 that really stood out the most was by Sarah Addison Allen. The first book was Garden Spells, and I just finished on Thursday afternoon, I just finished part 2 in that series, which was First Frost. Wonderful books, very much in the vein of Alice Hoffman, so Practical Magic, if you remember that book and movie. A little witchiness, a little magic, a little family drama, but wonderful. I loved it. So if you're looking for an audiobook just to finish off the summer, I highly recommend those 2. I'm also still listening to the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. You saw I posted me watching the movie the other day, and so many people have watched it, so many people have read the book, and I've been listening to the book very slowly because it's wonderful. If you love the written word as I do, but don't necessarily have time to sit and physically turn the pages, this book is wonderful. It's like poetry. It's amazing. So anyway, I am digressing. Let's talk knitting, which is going to tie into the cows. So here we go. My first finished object are what I pretty much spent most of the summer finishing up, and I'm so excited about them. I love them both so very much. And here they are, you guys. Voila! These are my Waiting for Henry socks. Let's kind of do that. They are done. I couldn't love them any more than I do. I decided, you know, I'm going to put one down so we can look at this a little easier. This absolutely beautiful color work here. I loved it. This is where I started and ended my row, so there's going to be tiny little hiccups there. I haven't even blocked these yet, but I love them. I love them so much. I decided to go with the black on the heel, which is the stripes here and in here, and then I did the sort of cinnamon brown color, which was the design. I did that on the toe. Did my rounded toe. I did the medium size, which was 64 stitches, and the pattern recommended changing needle sizes for the color work, and I didn't. I just threw caution to the wind. I felt like living on the edge, and I just went for it. And I know a lot of people have had problems with them not fitting or being a little too snug, and these actually fit really well. I'm pretty good at keeping my floats loose and really stretching the knitted fabric as I'm doing the color work, and I feel like that helped a lot. So I did not have a problem at all with these fitting, and I love the effect now of this ribbing pattern. It's a 3x1 rib here on the foot. Absolutely loved it. I made sure I lined up that purl stitch to edge the bottom of the foot. Absolutely love it now that I'm looking at it. I do have to admit, and I think it's okay because it's not a reflection on the pattern because the pattern was perfect. They felt like little speed bumps. I would be knitting along, and then boom, I had a purl. Knit along, boom, hit a purl. So, but once I got into a rhythm with it, it really didn't matter. I do love textured socks. I love them, and I am planning to knit a pair this fall, maybe 2 pairs, but for some reason it's that speed of the stockinette that I love so much. So yeah, but here they are, Waiting for Henry socks. The pattern name is Waiting for Henry by Tabitha Gandee, and she is one of the sisters in the Hey Sisters podcast, which you can find here on YouTube, and also the Hey Sisters Yarn Company. There is the Hey Sisters Yarn Company on Instagram, and then each of the sisters has their own account, which I'm blanking on now, but I will put that down here for you as well as in the show notes. I'll link to everything as usual. And here they are. Love them. Have to do my required little sock face hugging shot. Love them, love them. And this kit is their yarn. It was the Waiting for Henry sock kit. This is kit number 4. They didn't have names, just numbers. And again, this is kit number 4. I loved it, and I first saw this kit on an episode by the Grocery Girls, Tracy and Jody, and I just knew I had to jump on it immediately. They are quite the enablers, those two amazing ladies. And so anyway, here they are, Waiting for Henry socks. Love them. Let's kind of do this shot because I like that, whoops, as I'm dropping them. Love that too. Love them, love them, love them. Aren't they beautiful? I just think they're beautiful. Here, let's look at them like this. Oh, look at that. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous, and I love them so much. So here they are. And now that leads me right into talking about the cows. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about the first one. The first cowl, I have 2, and they're both starting September 1st, but the first one is called the Falling Leaves Sock Cowl. I talked about it. Everything was in the last episode. We're just going to touch briefly on it today. I am so excited about these 2 knit-alongs. Oh my gosh, the response has been amazing. People are very excited about them, and some are a little worried they're not going to. Now the goal of the cowl, let me backtrack. The goal of the cowl is to knit 1 pair of socks each month for 3 months. So from September to November, the cowl is running from September 1st to November 30th, and the goal is 1 pair a month. Some people are worried they cannot do that. They may be able to just get one pair every month and a half, one pair in the 3-month period. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Please still enter it in the FO thread. Talk about your progress and where you are in your knitting in the chatter thread. The chatter thread is open. People are already talking about different patterns they want to use, plain vanilla as well as textured patterns, and just do what you can. It's supposed to be fun. There is no pressure. You will still qualify for a prize. I would just love it if everybody did a pair a month. I think that would be wonderful. And it's doable, I think. I don't know that you have to be a fast knitter to do that. You know, just a couple of rows. If you stretch it out to look like one sock every 2 weeks. So break that down even more. If you did one portion of the sock each week, so you do maybe the leg, the cuff and the leg 1 week, then you spend maybe a weekend working on your heel, that's the in-between, then the final week you work on your leg and your toe, on the foot and the toe, and then in 2 weeks you've got one sock done. Put it in a drawer, pick up the next, and just keep cranking them out. I think sometimes if you break down time like that, it seems a lot more achievable than if you just say 3 pairs of socks in 3 months. That's 6 socks. That seems a little overwhelming. So I hope that people will get on board for that. I'm really excited. Like I said, the chatter thread is open, and I've also created a bundle, a pattern bundle, and that is linked in the first post, which I put up to advertise and talk about the CAL. So the bundle can be found there, and that includes sock patterns, textured patterns, different options for that. There are a lot of patterns by Mina Phillip, who is the Knitting Expat on Instagram. She is the queen of very, very simple textured patterns. Very engaging, but not overwhelming. Interesting, but not complex. Just enough to keep you engaged, but you're still moving along. And I've done a few of her patterns in the past and love them, and I'm excited to do a couple more for the fall. There's so many patterns, oh my gosh. I'd love to do a cable pattern, and there's an amazing new cable pattern by Tracy Mylar, I think is her last name, Miller, who is just Tracy on Instagram, and she is one of the sisters from the Grocery Girls. I'm sure everybody knows her. She has 2 sock patterns. Oh dear. Her latest one is the Coffee Talk pattern, and the other one, oh dear, should have written that down. I'll put it down here. It'll be right down here. And again, everything will be linked down below. But those patterns are wonderful. The first pattern that I'm blanking on the name has a cable pattern in it, and then the second one is more, I think they're cables on the side, but it's just a really great knit purl combination texture pattern on the front. And most people, I know Mina in particular, only does the textured pattern on the front of the sock. So when you're looking, you know what, I'm going to take this off so you can see better what I mean. So if you hold your sock front to back, whoops, see, still even have ends to weave in. More to clip off. But if you look at, so here's the front of your sock. So the pattern only runs on the front, and then the back is just stockinette. So you kind of get a little breather on the back, and then you do your texture, you get your breather, you do the texture, and then you just keep going. And then the rest of the sock, you can continue the pattern if you want down the top of the foot. Obviously the bottom of the foot is plain, or you don't have to. You can just do it, just do the texture pattern on the top, and that works great too. Just glancing at the time because I do have to meet Sarah later. And yes, so though that is a really great option, excuse me, if you want to do texture and you want to branch out a little bit with cables or try something a little new, you can definitely give those patterns a try. I know Danny, who is Little Bobbins on Instagram, she has some really beautiful sock patterns as well. There's a lot of them out there. Oh, and of course, one of my all-time favorites, and I just think she's an amazing person, designer, podcaster, everything, is Kay, who is her name is Kay, and she is the Crazy Sock Lady on Instagram, and the Crazy Sock Lady designs are the names of her, cumulatively the name of her patterns on Ravelry. So please go and have a look at hers. She has a gorgeous gorgeous new cabled sock pattern called the On the Hill socks that the pattern is out, and On the Hill refers to where the podcaster meetup is on the hill at Ravelry in Rhinebeck. Not Ravelry, in Rhinebeck during the festival, during the fair. So definitely check that out. I'm actually knitting. I'm not going to show them to you again because I haven't really made any progress. I've been just sock knitting. But the mittens, the hand warmers that I was working on in last episode, that pattern, there's the mitten, the fingerless mitts, as well as socks. So please go and have a look at that. Glancing at notes, pattern bundle, yarn. Oh, so let's talk yarn for the Falling Leaves Cal. There's a big hole right there. Because I've taken down a lot of my yarn to show you, and I wanted to talk about different dyers, indie dyers that have some amazing yarn available. This is, I'm trying to hold this very, very carefully here. So I'm just going to go through these quickly to share with you. This beautiful bundle is by 6 and 7 Fiber. Look at that, you guys. Oh, look at these gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Oh my gosh, this is how she has them beautifully labeled. I actually, oh, there's a little acorn that actually came with the, that came in the bundle, and this I ordered last year. I know she has some really beautiful new mini. This is a 5-pack mini set, and each mini is 20 grams, and 20-gram minis usually have about 87 to 90 yards. So if that just gives you an idea, and I want to make some really beautiful scrappy socks with these, so I've got those there. More minis. I've got a lot of minis, you guys. Another beautiful bundle that I think she still has available this year, and things are still in packaging, and I sometimes keep them in the packaging just to keep them clean. This is another beautiful bundle by her. This is called Mr. Tambourine Man, and it's all sort of grays and yellows and mustards. I hope you can see that here. Let's pop this open. You know what? I think you can see it, but here. These are just beautiful. I apologize. I know crinkling is really, really annoying, but this is another beautiful mini set. I think these are still available in her shop. She has amazing, amazing fall colors. Please go and check her out. Her name is Rachel, and again, she is 6 and 7. A little bit of tea dropped out here. She is 6 and 7 Fibers on Instagram, so you can go and take a look at her shop. I also have some more minis by, oh, it's upside down, by Nicole, who is from Hue Loco. This is her Color Riot Fall Palette, and these are 10-gram minis that can be made for scrappy socks, and I'm also going to show you this again when we talk about my other cal, so I'll talk about that in a second. But this is another, I mean, could you imagine? Look at those colors, you guys. Oh, I hope you can see them with the plastic on. Again, I'm really sort of a little obsessive compulsive about keeping things neat until I'm ready to use them, which is why I haven't taken anything out of the packaging yet, so I do apologize if that's annoying to anyone. But I cannot wait to make scrappy socks out of these. Oh my god, these colors are just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They're fall without being obviously fall, and that's fine. I know in the chatter thread someone was asking what colors qualify as fall colors, because I referred to reds and oranges, yellows and golds, and honestly, if deep purples, burgundy, olive greens, any colors like that, of course browns, because I'm an earth tones girl, so brown is always right up there. Any of those colors, rich peaches, deep yellows, anything like that. Umber, is that the color that I'm thinking? Ochre? Kind of a burnt orange. Let's just say burnt orange. But again, any of those colors, even really deep blues, indigo blue, any of those colors that are just deep and dark and rich, all say fall. So go right ahead, jump in if you've got skeins. And I'm showing you these just as options, not that you have to rush out and buy any of this stuff, obviously. And another mini set that I got I'm talking minis first because I've just gotten quite a few. And you know what? I'm going to jump out of my comfort zone and take these out of the packaging. My sister always teases me. I apologize. I know, crinkle, crinkle. I know that's annoying. My sister always teases me that I can't stand change. And I really can't. It doesn't always work that well for me, but look at those. Oh, look at those, you guys. You know what? Let's hold them this way so you can really see them. Oh my goodness. Aren't these amazing? They're amazing. There they all are. Beautiful. Let's hold them this way. That's why I kept them in the packaging, because I think you can see them better. But these are by Christy, who is Yarn Cafe Creations. This is her Autumn Harvest mini pack. And the colors are, let me see if I can get this right. I think I've kept them in the right order. No, this way. Okay, so I think we have Honeycrisp. Here is September Storm. You know what? I don't remember because I took them out of the packaging and I think they were in order in the packaging. It doesn't matter, but it's Honeycrisp, September Storm, Jack-o'-lantern, Smells Like Rain, and Orchid. I know that this one is Orchid. I know that one. But look at that. Then again, Christy may be watching this, and Christy, if you're watching and I'm wrong, I apologize. But aren't they gorgeous? Oh, they say fall. They say these two in particular saying Halloween because the little black speckles in there. So absolutely beautiful. And now I have full skeins to show you. Oh, and all of these minis came packaged in this beautiful little muslin bag, which I think is great because then I can just pop them in there and I've got a built-in project bag, cinch it up, and I'm ready to go. So that is Christy from Yarn Cafe Creations, and her equally talented daughter, who's Tristan, Tristan is the dyer behind Dragon Horde Yarns. I've gone a little bit crazy yarn shopping lately. I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. Could not help myself. There was absolutely no way I was leaving these unpurchased. This is Vintage Fall. Oh my gosh, look at that. And there's pink in there, and you know what? It still says fall to me. This still screams fall to me. I don't know, I just absolutely love it. I love it so much. And this is spiced cider. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that, you guys. The speckles. Let's turn it around. I really don't even think these pictures, this is not doing these colors justice. Please go and take a look at, I also love her label. Absolutely love that. Dragon Horde Yarns. Please go and have a look at Christy as well as Tristan's Ravelry pages. Not Ravelry, I'm sorry, Instagram pages. Oh my gosh, the yarns that these ladies are producing are just unbelievable. And this is their lore. This is her lore base, which is 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon. So again, you can just knit these up, no contrasting heels, cuffs, toes, whatever you want to do. These would also look beautiful with a textured pattern, something really simple. So we've got these two. And I have two more to show you. Actually, three more to show you. This is another one. Again, I'm not taking it out of the packaging. I apologize. This is by Artistic Lily. You know what? I will take it out because it's not, you're not seeing it. Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. I apologize. Sorry. All right, hang on. Nothing else is in packaging, so okay. This is Artistic Lily. Look at that. Oh my God. For some reason, this says campfire to me. This says s'mores and marshmallows roasting and bonfire and wood crackling and hot chocolate. That is what I see when I look at this skein. Oh my gosh, this may even be a cowl. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I may not even knit it this season. I absolutely love it. This is the name of this colorway is Autumn Blaze, and it is it's versatile fingering. I am not wearing my glasses, that's why I'm doing this. I'm an old lady, guys. We'll talk about my birthday later. This is a 75-25, Absolutely gorgeous. Of course, I love that. That right in there the most. The earthy girl in me is just loving that so much. So here you go. Again, Artistic Lily. You can also find her on Instagram. And I have two more just to give you some more ideas. This is Mustache Yarn. Love, love, love it. This is her Bohemian colorway, and I know this is just released not long ago with the contrasting color. The contrasting mini is autumnal orange. And again, Mustache Yarn is also on Instagram, so go and have a look there if you want to see this knit up. Oh my gosh. It's muted but colorful. It's gorgeous. I don't know. Maybe I'll start with this. Should I kick the cowl off with this? What do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Should I do stripy socks to start? Should I just do a gorgeous speckle to start? Should I go scrappy to start? Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. I would love to hear what you think. So here we go. This is Mustache Yarn. Again, this colorway is Bohemian with the autumnal orange contrasting mini. And last but absolutely not least, there's more up there that I could pull out, but I'd be boring you to death. This is, let's pull this one out. I already took the tag off, but this is Legacy Fiber Arts, and this colorway is Sweater Weather. Sweater Weather. And look at that, you guys. Oh my gosh. And there's that little splash of purple speckles in there. Look, look, look. Can you stand it? There's just something about these fall colors that make me like almost dizzy. They're so beautiful. Oh my God. So there you go. Lots and lots to choose from. If you have yarn in your stash, please feel free. Whatever you need, do not feel obligated. Nobody has paid me to talk about any of these yarns. I have just treated myself a little bit. Yeah, I don't even think my husband knows about all that shopping. But I am officially on a yarn diet until Rhinebeck. So, and I doubt I'm even going to buy that much in Rhinebeck. I'm going to try really hard to be good. But that said, it's okay to buy yarn. And I'm not really sorry that I have all this. Just love it. So yes, those are lots of yarn options. We've taught pattern options. I'm going to put a couple of pictures of one or two patterns in. As I'm talking, I'll try to pop in a couple of pictures for you to see. And yeah, so I'm going to pause. We're going to talk about the second cowl, and then I think we're going to wrap up. So I will go and grab my second FO, and then we'll keep going. So my second FO for this episode is also, again, ties perfectly into my second cowl, which is the mini sock garland cowl. And here is my little mini. There it is, you guys. I showed you some minis in the last episode, but this one is more fall themed. And as I was knitting it, I said to myself, now this cowl, let's talk about the cowl. The cowl is a mini sock garland cowl. The chatter thread is open in the Ravelry group. And the goal is to knit 2 mini socks per week for 12 weeks. That may seem like a lot, so if you want your garland to have fewer socks, that's fine. If you can achieve more socks and get more socks knitted, that's fine too. It is completely up to you. This particular pattern that is being featured for the cowl, isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that, you guys. This particular pattern is the mini sock pattern by Legacy Fiber Arts. I have linked it in the chatter thread in my Ravelry group. You can also find the original pattern in the Legacy Fiber Arts Ravelry group, so you can go and have a look at that. It has a traditional drop heel, heel and gusset, and I have added the loop that is not in the original pattern, and I'm going to do another tutorial episode to explain how I do this. So stay tuned for that. That will also be coming out this week before the cowl kicks off, so stay tuned. And here it is. So I know that 2 pairs of these little minis a week may seem like a lot, but you guys, these are so quick. This is a couple hours. This really, it's so fast. And I have to admit, I'm going to 100% come clean and admit, I am not a giant fan of the drop heel. I definitely prefer a short row heel. So I'm actually going to knit another one of these, another mini, with this, following pretty much the same pattern, but I'm going to do a short row heel just so you can see the difference. It's up to you. That pattern, the Legacy Fiber Arts pattern, is just a suggestion if you wanted to join but weren't sure where to begin, but it's up to you. There are a couple of people in the chatter thread have recommended other mini socks that have fewer stitches, or oh dear, there is a woman who is knitting, I think she's in France. Oh my gosh. You know what? I will put her name right down here because she is actually knitting textured socks. She's doing blueberry waffle mini socks and a bunch of other textured patterns, and they are so, so beautiful. She and I have been chatting quite a bit on both Instagram and Ravelry, so go and have a look. And again, I'll put her name down here and I'll link to her down below so you can have a look at what she's doing. Excuse me, the Cal hashtag is being used on Instagram, and that's making me very happy too. Some people have already started, and that's fine. Whips are welcome. But here it is. It is so cute. And I had some contrasting yarn, so I decided to just throw in the cuff and the heel. You don't have to do that. This is the beauty of this. These are little potato chips as far as I'm concerned. They're tiny little potato chips. You can make them whatever you want. It's up to you. They can all match, which would look really pretty. You can have them looking very different. It's completely up to you. Just do what makes your heart happy. The goal is to have a beautiful sock garland ready to go by Christmas. And Chelsea, who is the daughter of the Legacy Fiber Arts, in their podcast and behind the dyeing business, she talked about this cal, and I thank you so much, Chelsea, if you're watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you for talking about the cal and promoting it for me. That meant the world. And she talked about this on one of her chats with Chelsea, which is on her IGTV channel on Instagram, and she mentioned putting, which I thought was brilliant, and I think I'm actually going to do that too, is putting little, you can fill these with things. This can be part of your advent calendar, not just for a garland for decoration. Make it part of your advent calendar. You can wrap little gifts to yourself and maybe have your husband or kids put them in so you don't really know what's in where, and you can open one each day. It could be bits of chocolate, they can be little notes of inspiration, of encouragement, whatever you want. Have your children write little notes to you and put them in so you can read a note each day. You can put in little sock minis, little mini skeins. You can put in little knitting tools and gadgets, whatever you want. Make this whatever you want it to be. The goal in both of these cals, and if you've been watching my podcast for a while, I want knitters to be happy. I want them to be satisfied on the basic level, and then thrilled to bits with their knitting. I want them to be happy and celebrate knitting. That is what the goal of this podcast has always been and always will be, is to promote a love of knitting. I want everyone to join in, cheer each other on, share your projects, share your disappointments, share your mistakes, and we'll just help each other. I am here to help all of you. If you need the help, let's just knit together. That's all I want to do. I would love to be able to do this in a big room together if we meet once a week, but that's not possible. So that's why I have this forum, and I want us all to knit together, have fun, celebrate the fall season, welcome the holiday season when that comes along. Let's knit together, you guys. Let's enjoy our knitting and our stitches and enjoy the fall and the colors and apple cider donuts and all of it. Let's just have a good time together. So that's it about cals right now. Again, all of the details are both in the chatter threads on Ravelry, and yeah, I will be back in just a second. We'll wrap up this episode. If you have any questions about anything about the cals, you can leave them down below in the comments or in the chatter thread, and I will answer you as soon as I can. So I'll be back in 1 second. Hi everybody. So to wrap up this episode, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has been talking about the cals and promoting them and for all of the buzz and excitement that is steadily growing. I'm really happy and really excited about this. I think it's going to be really fun. I hope everyone has a really great end of summer. Enjoy the last few days. Have a very safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. Labor Day weekend, I'm sorry. I always get those mixed up. I don't know why. Labor Day weekend, and enjoy the end of the season, you guys, and get ready to welcome the new season. If you have any questions for me ever, like I just said, please feel free to ask, email me. We've had some prize donations. In the next episode, I'm going to talk about prizes and have some more knitting finished objects to show you. And I'm also going to have some sewing in the next episode, which I'm really excited about. I received a really special gift just before I went away this past week, and I don't want to rush through it now at the end, but I really want to share that with you. Yeah, so we will talk about that in the next episode. I hope to be back with you all again very, very soon. And thanks a lot, everyone. I love being here. I love sharing with you all. You're the best. I have the best subscribers, the best followers on Instagram. I thank you. Just thank you, as always, for everything. Enjoy the end of the summer, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks so much, you guys, and you're all the best. Bye. So as I mentioned earlier in the episode, I had the wonderful pleasure of spending some time with my friend Sarah in the city today, and we chatted, we sat, we knit for a bit, we wandered around, and it was just absolutely wonderful, and I wanted to share that with you right here. So stay tuned for that, and then we'll wrap up the episode.